All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is "What's Wrong with U.S. Cash?" I don't know. Guys, cash is king. It still is king. But, all right, let's get it. Let's check it out.
$931.4 million. That's how much the Federal Reserve will spend to print bills in 2023. But there's a problem with U.S. cash.
We haven't modernized or changed our currency. That's probably a mistake.
For example,
we should have dollar coins instead of paper notes.
Physical currency.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't think we need to be, walking around with all those coins in our pockets, guys. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm absolutely against the concept of a coin, but the coin itself would last a lot longer, which would potentially bring some of those costs down. But like I know, that costs will never actually go down because they're comfortable getting that money. What would happen most likely is, they'll be able to get a saving on the actual printing fees, in a sense, because the coin itself will probably last 30, 40 times longer than the actual note will. They'll save that money and put that into something else that they can use, that the Federal Reserve can use, that they didn't know they could use. So it would not be a saving to us, more like a hindrance, because now we have to carry around a pocket full of dollar coins. No thank you, sirs and madams. But let's continue.
Has changed around the world, but not in the U.S.
The Nordic countries, we see a move away from cash and to digital. India had a government-sponsored program to eliminate small denominations of cash.
The rest of the world has...
Yeah, guys, but the problem with India, specifically referring to the program that was enacted in India, guys, they have 1 billion people, and they still use their notes. So they're going to still do this because it's more comfortable, it's more convenient for them.
Moved towards polymer notes, which are a form of plastic, last something like 4 times as long as the old paper notes.
Meanwhile, an increasing number of Americans are ditching cash for electronic payment.
Guys, these polymer notes, referring to like the ones in... 1 second. They're referring to like the euro, right? Guys, the euro itself feels terrible in your hands. It feels cheap. It feels like plastic. It feels like monopoly money. I understand there's a number printed on it, but the 10 feels different than the 20, guys. It feels different. All the notes feel kind of different, but the 20 is the worst feeling one. And I'm guessing this is probably the highest printed one also. This is why it feels much more durable, but again, it feels like monopoly money, okay? It feels nothing like our paper, our linen and paper blend, guys. Nothing. It feels terrible, seriously.
The Pew
I don't think we want that either.
Research Center found 41% of Americans in 2022 didn't use cash in a given week. That number rose from 29% in 2018. Still, cash demand is growing, and experts say it's not going away.
There's actually more cash in circulation today than ever.
Cash production has
but that money's not here.
Year by year by 0.5% to 2% for at least a decade.
U.S. government is very much engaged in electronic commerce in addition to being the entity that prints cash.
In terms of electronic transactions, replacing cash, no. Cash always has an important and valuable spot.
Cash is king.
So what's wrong with U.S. cash, and how can we fix it?
Fix it how, bro?
The $1 bill was the most popular currency in the U.S. for years. But in 2017, for the first time in history, the $100 bill surpassed the one. And today, 18.5 billion $100 notes are in circulation.
Those notes are not here. I would say 30% of those hundreds are in this country.
$1 bill.
Because again, we are the U.S. We are the reserve country. We are the reserve currency of the world, guys.
Bills are the second most circulated at 14.3 billion notes, and $2 bills are circulated the least at 1.5 billion.
The $100 comes from...
Guys, bring the $2 back.
U.S.
please.
currency being a global currency. And a lot of those hundreds are outside the country.
Right.
And they're being used for store of value.
Some speculate
all over West Africa and Russia
that the rise in $100 bills in circulation may also be to avoid taxes or for illegal activity, since cash can be traded anonymously.
I think the other...
It's always funny how companies like this company making the video here frames money as the only time people use cash is for illicit acts. Bro, no, we just don't want to pay double taxes on things. Like if I buy something and I already paid the taxes on it, but then I sell the thing that I had, I have no interest in being taxed again for that money, right? And so, or no one really has any interest in it. So of course they're most likely going to do what? Pay cash. Don't Cash App me, bro. No Venmo, none of that nonsense. Cash exclusively. I'm not sure that this is considered, well, it probably is considered illicit nowadays, isn't it? Most likely. But the thing is that people don't like being double taxed. So why would they then have to pay a transaction fee whenever they use their card, guys? So listen, cash is king. Don't listen to anyone that says anything about let's switch over to electronic currencies. Please, no, never. Keep cash flowing. All right. I think that's the end of your freedom in a sense.
The argument is somebody involved in illegal activity will find a way to get around not having $100 bills.
Credit cards or electronic payments of any type, there's a way to track them.
But I do understand wanting to be fully anonymous as you go about your day, and cash does provide that.
They don't want their wife to know they spent $200 on a coin for collectors, for example.
And in the past, accessibility has
He's right. Okay, listen, sir, you're right. One time I bought a nickel. Can you imagine? Imagine going out and having to explain to your wife that you bought a nickel. How do you buy it? Why would you buy a nickel? How much did that nickel cost? I'm not going to say, but it was 1912. All right, it was in mint condition. Well,
determined what currency Americans choose.
Right.
The $2 bill has lost its place in everyday usage. It was left out of the vending machine market. Denominations like the $2 bill or the $half coin, because there was no space made in the actual cash registers, they became less popular. In the 1960s, the $half lost its place because it wasn't included in
parking,
the use
right?
of parking meters.
The Federal Reserve has also ended production of currency before and tried to change different denominations.
Bring the $2
Americans
back,
make
guys.
Things called half cents. The penny wasn't always the lowest denomination of coin.
Bills over
Yeah, guys,
$100.
this is back when you could buy a house for $3. I'm exaggerating, right? But this is or 3 popsicle sticks, guys, right? This is back when you can literally buy something for $1, or a gallon of gas was 25 cents. I mean, these were times where, you could actually utilize these small denominations. Why would we have a half cent? I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not sure we should have a cent anymore. Right, but listen, I get it. Tax purposes.
Dollars like the 500, 1,000, and 5,000 were discontinued in 1969 because they were rarely spent.
Right,
and at that time,
bro, no one is out here spending the $1,000 notes. We could probably honestly bring that back now in this inflation. That'll probably work. To be honest, if we did have a $1,000 note in circulation still, that could be a thing. Right, $5,000 note? Nah, you're stretching it. Not many people are going to want to carry I have $5,000 in my wallet. Who does that, bro? Rappers, maybe. Probably rappers, most likely. Definitely rappers.
Check.
Owe me in the Hellcat.
Checks and credit card payments were
He would
on
also.
the rise.
In the late 1960s, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing called the Treasury, and the Treasury called the Federal Reserve, say, if we're going to print these bills again, we have to make new plates. There was a debate going on at the highest levels. And they thought, nobody's going to use cash in 10 years.
And 6 in 10 Americans say convenience is key to spending.
You realize that you're spending more money than you need to spend, right? Like they make you pay for the fact that you're paying with a card, I guess. Keep that in mind, guys.
The U.S. Treasury oversees both the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, responsible for paper notes, and the U.S. Mint, where coins are made. The 2023 budget to produce paper bills is $931.4 million. About 28% of that goes to paper, ink, and labor, while 63% goes to manufacturing overhead, general support, research, and engraving. The Fed says U.S. bills are made to last, with a 25% linen, 75% cotton blend, and that it takes 4,000 double folds before a banknote will tear. But many countries have moved their lower currency denominations to coins to help with longevity.
A metal dollar will last about 30 years in circulation. How many of us have gone to a vending machine and tried to use a dollar bill and had to feed it in 5 or 6 times? You don't need to do that with a coin.
The rest of the world makes coins usually for $1 to $2. It's hard to find a paper note below $5 American in most developed countries.
Japan's 500 yen coin is equivalent to about $3.5 US, and Australia and Europe use 1 and 2 coins in place of notes. But the U.S. has tried switching to coins before.
In the 1920s, the Treasury reintroduced the $1 silver dollar and the $2 bill because it'll save money. $1 coins last a long time. $2 bills, you only have to print half as many as the ones. It didn't go over at all. Then they tried it in the 1960s under the Kennedy administration. People didn't want $1 coins and twos except to save as a souvenir. People have thought about...
Guys, that bothers me so much, guys. All right, so I basically, whenever I go out to eat, I tip people in $2 bills. That's what I do. $2 bill tips. And generally 20% of my bill, they get $2. They get $2. Or if someone meets me that they've seen me online on YouTube, right? I'm like, here, clean, crisp, uncirculated too, right? But please bring $2 bills back. I beg of you. I beg the population. I beg the population of the United States of America to please allow, to please spend $2 bills. Don't hold them in your closet, in your drawer, guys.
Reviving the 500 and cut the production by 5, save money. Nobody's going for it.
The Fed also says transitioning to coins is inefficient and costly.
The argument for the $1 coin, it was cheaper over the long run. But over time, there were upgrades, various additives and varnishes. So now the $1 bill, I think, has a life close to 6 years.
And why has every other country done it? Why has Canada done it? Why has England done it? Why has all of Europe done it? Why has Japan done it?
Australia, the UK, and other countries have also moved from paper to polymer notes.
Since 1988, when Australia issued the first polymer notes, they've become very popular in the rest of the world.
If we're not going to polymer, a linen cotton note has a certain feel to it. And since this is a global currency, someone inside or outside of the U.S. may not realize if this is a counterfeit or not.
Some experts claim that the Fed's choice to print paper notes is a waste of money, fueled by special interests.
Vendors hire lobbyists to make sure that the mint buys the same type of alloy.
I can see that.
Coins. Or in the case of paper, it's a major part of their production. If they lose that production, they lose jobs. As an organization, they lose power.
Right.
Billions of dollars to be saved from going from paper dollar notes, which I might add are printed using toxic ink for anti-counterfeiting, so there's an environmental impact. Why is there a pushback in the United States to moving towards dollar coins? The Federal Reserve.
The world that we're in and the world that we're headed to, we're certainly not spending time thinking, are coins better? I just saw a statistic that said over 40% of people said they had not used cash at all in the past week. In fact, I couldn't tell you if I had any in my wallet right now.
Right.
Modernizing cash is not easy.
Banknotes are extremely complex instruments. And then there's buried deep inside the note various tags.
And innovation is changing the way we use cash.
Those technological advances are what's really going to influence people's lives for the better.
Making cash something that can carry value electronically, connecting notes to the blockchain.
Guys, I know that eventually this is probably going to happen. But I'm going to say that I'm so against the concept of this, right? I understand there's going to be a lot more security involved in this here. The concept of counterfeiting would probably be non-existent, that the issue of it, at least. With the US dollar, it would be non-existent. There will be a whole lot of underserved people that generally cannot, reach the traditional banks that are going to now have access to a lot of banking type things, guys. Right? That's a good thing. But again, I want physical money in my hand. I want that physical money to be able to be given to someone for the face value of that money. That's it. I don't want this, right? I don't like being 100% tracked all day, guys, right? Sometimes I just want to go to Dunkin' Donuts and I want to get a coffee, guys, right? Does it really have to be tracked? Does that one thing need to be on my record for life, bro? Not really. And that's why I refuse to basically bend over or bow down to the concept of getting rid of our paper money, guys. I'm sorry.
Many businesses support electronic and cash options, plus innovative ways to bridge the gap.
If you still transact in cash, but you need to buy or want to buy something online, get a QR code. There's a variety of stores that will do this. Scan the QR code, pay in cash and they release your merchandise.
Your electric bill comes, you can go to a Walgreens and pay that bill with cash.
And cash is cheaper. I got my haircut today, $22, but they had a
I could tell.
and cash
I could tell.
is cheaper. I got my haircut today, $22, but they had a 4% surcharge if I used a card.
There are a lot of people that
Right.
use cash because they don't want to spend money they don't have.
New York City and Philadelphia are even
Guys, the rest of the world kind of lives like that, right? Like the rest of the world that doesn't have our like FICO system, they don't really use credit like that, or they don't like swiping their cards like that unless it's coming straight out of their debit card, right? That's the only thing. We're like the only people that just fight this, I would say, right? But we need to keep cash alive, keep using cash, keep utilizing it, and at least keep a couple of dollars in your pocket.
requiring businesses to accept cash.
Legislation being passed that cash.
Oh, is that Philly?
Philadelphia are
That's Philly.
even requiring businesses to accept cash.
Legislation being passed that cash must be available and that you cannot have a purely cashless store.
However,
that.
with the exception of changes to state law, the Fed says businesses are free to determine what method of payment to accept.
To access,
Imagine living in a country where your currency is no longer accepted. That's oh wait, maybe I should have said that. Bro, I'm gonna get canceled again because oh no, I'm trying so hard.
digital mechanisms would need to be ubiquitous, either through a smartphone or through an internet connection. Not quite there yet.
Give the American people options. Cash, it's been around for a long time because it does its job really well.
Right. That it? Okay, that's it. Guys, listen. Cash itself. The rise of zombie firms. How unprofitable companies stay in business. Oh. Okay, anyway. That's extremely intriguing. Listen, again, guys, cash is king. That's it. I'm going to keep reiterating it so you guys can hear what I'm saying here. Cash is the most important thing. Without cash, we lose our freedoms. That's it. Let's not do that. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.